Fishburne post-grad basketball off to a 3-1 start here in the 2013-2014 season. Ed, let's talk first about the Bluefield College game, home game last week. Impressive games from Garrett Collins, 11 of 14 from three-point range, 38 points that night. You got what you needed out of that game.
It was a great game for Garrett. I got what we needed from our team. Actually, we defended well, but I think we played with great chemistry. Garrett scored the 38 points, but it really was 18 points. Jordan Talley did a terrific job finding him. We had Trey Harris actually was on his visit to Kansas State that weekend. And so Garrett had to log more minutes than he normally does. And he stepped up in a big way. 11 of 14, school record, 38 points, tied a school record. He, without question, is a hell of a player.
And Jordan Talley in that game, no points scored, 8 assists though, just 1 turnover in 22 minutes. And that's what you expect out of your point guard.
Yeah, I'm not sure how many shots he took that game. I think he probably took maybe 2 or 3, maybe. He didn't really look to score, and I asked Jordan to sacrifice that. He was a scorer in high school, but he's got a good grasp right now of what it is to play point guard. He's trying to get guys involved. He is one of the best leaders, I just talked about this, that I've ever coached. He reminds me a lot of a kid named Deshaun Wood who I had at Wright State that's playing professionally. He reminds me of him a lot. And matter of fact, that's a great comparison because I recruited both of them. So he's going to be a hell of a point guard for somebody down the road.
And in general, the team that game distributed the ball well. 21 assists on your 42 made baskets. You had another 4 assist game out of Boo Agee, 3 assist games out of Garrett Collins and Shepard. So you had the ball moving around all game long.
Well, what that talks about is how we're sharing the basketball. So hopefully we can continue to share the basketball and we can really concentrate on just doing the little things that you have to be successful at the collegiate level. Defend, rebound, screening, share the basketball, ball reversal. Those things right there will make you a very productive team, especially when we get into the meat of our schedule.
So now let's talk about the trip out to Wisconsin and the St. John's Northwestern Military Academy Challenge. You played 3 games out there. First game, a thrilling game from a fan standpoint, 95-92 win over Quakerdale Prep. Talk about that game, and the team had to rally in the second half to win that game.
Yeah, we really had control of the game, and I'll say it, the officiating I felt the whole weekend was something to be desired. I will say it. In the fact that it was a disservice probably to all the teams. I don't like getting on here really. Just saying it was just a difficult thing to adjust to with all the hand touches and you're used to bumping cutters and there was no flow to it. And it took our guys actually probably until the last day to make an adjustment. The first 2 days, we're used to playing physical out here in Virginia and we're just making an adjustment. So to beat Quakerdale, they were a very good team. I thought that they were well coached, very disciplined, and they gave us all we could handle. But
well, you talk about the fouls. I've just looked at the number on the box score you handed me. 48 fouls for each team in that game.
Yeah, it was ridiculous. I'll say it. Matter of fact, we're fortunate to win the game. I thought that again, guys like Jordan Talley, James Rucker, Garrett Collins, Trey Harris, Jordan Talley. I mean, it was a team effort. Lamel, Shamik. I mean, we all stepped in from the coaches to our supporters. We had a good support group up there, so it was a great team win.
Once again, 23 assists on 31 made baskets. Jordan Talley, 6 assists, 1 turnover, 11 points. He was 4 for 8 from the field, but once again, that leadership role you talked about earlier from Jordan.
He's just, I tell you what, he and Rucker, Rucker can play the guard spot, but they really give us what we need night in and night out. So I feel like we have, Jordan Talley is one of the best unsigned point guards in the country, and he can play at any level. There's no question in my mind. And I think that he will continue to grow, get better, and I'm really looking forward to him having a successful year.
So game 2, Midwest Prep gets the upset win, 78-69 win over Fishburne Military School. That game, Trey Harris, 17 points, Jordan Talley, 10 points, 4 assists. Difference in that game may be the 3-point shooting. We put up 29 threes, only made 6. Talk about that game.
I tell you what, the shots were in and out, and it was one of those nights the shots didn't fall. And again, we had to make an adjustment to how they weren't going to let us play physical like we normally like to play on the perimeter, particularly on defense. And we just we lost to a solid team. They were well coached, and I tip my hat off to them. And they made key plays when they had to make them. And we just have to continue to work on and get better. I thought that our three-point shooting, we didn't have any bad shots. They sat in that zone in the second half. They couldn't defend us man-to-man. We had clean looks, and they just kept going in and out. But, you play basketball long enough, you're going to have games like that. And really, it seems weird, the 78 points we gave up. Really, the game was in the 60s defensively. We just had to foul at the end. Mm-hmm. And but we did a hell of a job defending. And but we didn't do well. If you look at it, I think they had double figures in offensive rebounding. And I let our guys have it after the game about the offensive rebounding. It wasn't about anything else other than that offensive rebounding that we gave up and that our lack thereof on offensive glass. And I know we've got one of the best rebounding teams in the country, and we just didn't put forth the effort to do it. And that was my fault. I take complete responsibility for that loss. We lost a game. We had no business being in that position. But as I said earlier, we lost to a less talented team, but they were a better team. And that's what they were better coached that night and played with better chemistry. And I take complete blame for that loss.
Yeah, you talked about the rebounding numbers, 49-24 overall.
Yeah.
24 offensive rebounds, and we only had 17 defensive rebounds. So they were more likely to pick up a miss of their own.
It was long shots, and we just didn't have the effort. But that was my fault. And the good news is the next game, believe me, it got addressed.
and you finished up the trip with the 72-67 win over the homestanding St. John's Northwest military team. Another tough game, but you I'd say eked it out. 53 rebounds to 40. You definitely addressed the issues there. Talk about the St. John's game.
Yeah, we had a double-figure lead most of the second half, so we were always in control of the game, but we came to play. And if you look at it, I think we finished 18 of 36 from the free throw line. Yes. That's what kept the game close. If you look at our free throw shooting for the year, it's going to bite us. And I told the team this: if we don't improve on our free throw shooting, we're going to be in some games and maybe drop some games that we have no business dropping. And I can't put my finger on it. We have terrific shooters. And we just, right now, our free throw shooting is atrocious.
What do you do to address free throw shooting? It's something that they could stand there and make 90 out of 100, but that's not game situation.
You just don't really address it much other than get them in practice, repetition, let them get on their own. Free throw shooting is more mental, psychological than it is physical. And you got to get guys just to get in the gym, be relaxed. And I've got a little thing I like to say to them all the time: we've got to quit choking at the line. Neighborhood I grew up in, that's what we call it, choke. So sometimes they'll look at me like, Coach, I'm not choking. But again, I'm confident our guys will get that situation rectified. And our coaches are doing a great job, improving these guys in that area, particularly mentally.
So let's turn our attention to what's coming up this week. And you have a number of the top prep teams in the country coming into Fishburne this weekend for a big tournament. Talk about the tournament.
Yeah, Ridgeview Prep comes in, Miller School from up the mountain, up the way here. We've got New River Community College coming in. We got Rise Academy coming in from Philly. New River, obviously, from Virginia. So we got a good weekend. Our high school team is playing Lynchburg Patriots. So the games are Thursday, Friday, Saturday. We push the Saturday starts back an hour. From instead of 3 and 5, they'll be 4 and 6, because obviously our football team, who I want to give a shout out to, is going to be preparing for our victory on Saturday at 12 o'clock. So we had to move our start times back. So it's going to be the second year for this tip-off classic that we have, and it's just really a precursor to some of the other major tournaments we're going to play in. Just give us a feel for this tournament type atmosphere that you've got to play back-to-back to-back days. And a lot of times, young players, it's hard for them to adjust to play back-to-back days. It's hard to win 3 games in 3 days. I don't care if you're at home or on the road.
And it's also the timing of this tournament. The last couple of years, you've timed it to be before the signing day, so it's a time also for coaches out there. You talked about some great unsigned talent like Jordan Talley, for example. It's one more chance for college coaches to get a look at these guys maybe before signing day.
Right. I know we've got 4 guys that are mid to, and 2 I think are high major prospects unsigned, and then we have Rise has a couple, Ridgeview has a couple. I know Miller's got some very good young talent. So you're talking about some unsigned talent that they have an opportunity before the signing period next week to be seen, and it's a chance for us to showcase again our facilities in our in the Waynesboro area, the Valley, Fishburne, and we get tremendous support from the school and the community, and we want to continue to do this every year.
Well, Coach, I think that wraps us up for this week. Thanks for your time.
I appreciate it. Thank you.